Hello, everyone. Let's learn again the divine principle. We are now in chapter 5, the resurrection. So, if we are to believe literally the prophecies of Scripture, we should expect that when Jesus comes again, the deceased saints will come back to life in the flesh. Thessalonians 4, verse 16 to Matthew 27, verse 52. So, their bodies buried in the earth and completely decomposed will be reconstituted to their original state. So, given the modern state of our knowledge, these prophecies do not make rational sense. This brings great confusion to the Christian faith. So, therefore, it is important that we elucidate the true meaning of resurrection. So, we go to section 1, resurrection. So resurrection means to come back to life. To come back to life implies that we have been dead. Okay? So to fathom the meaning of resurrection, we must clarify that biblical concept of life and death. So we go to 1.1, the biblical concept of life and death. So Jesus said, "Leave the dead to bury their own dead." Luke 9, verse 60. So, from these words of Jesus, it is clear that the Bible contains two different concepts of life and death. Okay? So, first, death means the end of physical life, as was the case of the disciple deceased. Father who has to be buried. Life, in the sense, means the state in which the physical self maintains the physiological functions. Okay. So the second concept of life and death concerned those living people who had gathered to bury the deceased man. This death refers to leaving the bosom of God's love and falling under the dominion of Satan. So the corresponding concept of this life refers to the state of living in accordance with God's will within the dominion of God's infinite love. So we go to the death caused by the human fall. So before the fall, God created human beings to grow old and return to dust. Physical death. So physical death was allotted to human beings regardless of whether or not they fell. Only the spirit self enters the spirit world and lives there eternally. So after the fall, hence the death caused by the fall. So does not mean the end of physical life, but rather the descent into the evil dominion of Satan through eating the fruit is our the death by the fall. So the meaning of resurrection. Resurrection may be defined as the process of restoration from the death caused by the fall to life, from the realm of Satan's dominion to the realm of God's dominion through the providence of resurrection. So we are now in the last of the section 1.4. What changes does resurrection cause in human beings? So Adam and Eve died when they ate of the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Nevertheless, no significant external change took place in them. So, in the external change. So, likewise, no significant external changes should be expected to take place in fallen people. when they are resurrected to the state of prior of the fall. So, the changes a person experiences when he is resurrected and enters the governance of God take place in his heart and spirit. So, this internal changes also purify his body, transforming it from a hunt of Satan into a temple of God. Okay? So, everybody, this is all for today. Bye, everyone.